Currently working, so apologize if this is going to be low, zero edits in this video. I'm currently working on the Stanley Cup final video with the Florida Panthers. Finally took care of the Edmonton Oilers. That video will be up probably in a couple days, so apologies. I was really sick and kind of going through some things. I wasn't really able to upload it all during the finals. I think the game won, and then pretty much health-wise, things took a massive dive. I figured I'd make a quick video while I'm walking. I've been walking about 10 miles per day for the last 4 to 5. My voice wasn't back. My voice is actually starting to kind of come around where I can speak a little bit further. I mean, I should say longer. Excuse me. English is the enemy of me, apparently. But I want to make a video because I'll have the synopsis video and kind of like my thoughts on the series as a whole, probably up in a couple days, heavily edited with clips and all that. I wanted to make a video more about Brad Marchand and some of the narrative. This is going to be a very short video, very short and sweet. I think some Bruins fans, while I understand their frustration, they see their captain, their Bruins Hall of Famer, probably a Hall of Famer overall, go to a different team and raise a Stanley Cup. And they're like, well, see, Don Sweeney gets nothing in return. And we just get a first-round pick for a guy that just won a cup and helped win a rival of ours a Stanley Cup championship. Listen, Brad Marchand's contract was expiring, and it seemed like the negotiation money-wise wasn't just really coming together. I mean, maybe they could have ironed something out at the end of the day, but the Bruins traded an expiring asset, and an asset that, let's just be blunt, is regressing. Not saying he's not a good player, but let's not kid ourselves. He had a fantastic run with the Panthers on a third line. And at this point in his career, on a stacked team, Brad Marchand will absolutely obliterate people on a third line. He's extremely talented. He was one of the best left wingers in the league for a long time. So he still has the hockey IQ, but some of the physical traits, like his speed, has taken a dip. His shiftiness has taken a dip. Doesn't mean he's not shifty. He doesn't have some speed to him. But let's not kid ourselves here. He's not the player he was in his prime. And he went into the perfect situation where he was a third liner, and it helped him just feast on them. So, you know, you see a lot of Bruins fans upset, and I get it, but it seems like Don Sweeney can't win. Because if he doesn't trade Brad Marchand and they aren't able to retain him, to be like, well, why would you not try to get something for an expiring asset? And then when they trade Marchand because they can't work out the hard numbers together, then it comes into a fact like, oh, well, you're stupid. Look how good he is. I just don't think that's how things work, personally. When it comes down to it, the Bruins felt like they weren't able to retain him, and due to that, they moved him. I don't think it was heartfelt, and I think Don Sweeney did Marchand a service. He understood that Brad has been here for his whole career, gave a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, gave up body parts, had to get multiple surgeries to make this Bruins team so good for so damn long. And Brad Marchand was always team friendly. So I think there was that level of respect, send him to a good situation where he could possibly win another cup, and the Bruins get a first-round draft pick for it. It sucks moving your captain, but Don Sweeney did right by him. And I think he did right by the organization to get a future asset for an expiring one. And the rumors or the reports, the hoopla about, oh, well, Marchand's going to ask for like $8.5 million. And with his postseason, I could see a team, especially with his name recognition and his personality. He's a funny dude. I've always loved Brad Marchand's interviews. And I've gone to a few like in-person meetups. He is a genuinely good dude and a genuinely funny dude. So I think, you know, hats off to him in that regard. But I think that would be an overpay. And I think the first season could probably justify it. But he's 37, multiple hip surgeries. I think if some team is going to give him a multi-year deal worth 8.5, I think maybe the first year they don't regret it. But I think on the back end of that deal, they're going to be like, oof, like this guy is going to regress. And I hope that's not the case, but I mean, it just seems like Father Time is undefeated outside of a very few rare circumstances. And you know, and I think actually the best situation for him would be go back to Florida, being on a third line, being on a team where he's not necessarily relied to be the 1, 2, or 3 punches. And that's another thing I do want to mention with the Bruins. the Bruins had David Pastrnak and Brad Marchand, and offensively they really struggle to get anything else from any of the other players on that roster. So question, like, do you guys think that Marchand would put up the numbers he did in Florida for the Bruins during that postseason run? I don't know. The teams would key on him more. He's a great player, but his physical side of his game, he's definitely regressed with his speed and his shiftiness. And while he can definitely still take advantage of some players because he's a very smart hockey player, that's something I don't think Marchand's credited enough. Like, his hockey IQ, his defensive acumen is extremely good. And because everyone just gets fixated on him being a rat. But to sit here and say with the Bruins that it would be just as easy to do that in a spoke B, no, because let's say the Bruins made the playoffs this year. Let's say they somehow got a miraculous run. Probably has a different outlook because it's him and Pastrnak. So other guys are just too streaky and weren't dependable. And maybe I get shit for this. I think Sweeney made the right move. You get a first-round pick for a guy that's contract expiring. And I think the Bruins would have been making a mistake paying him $8 to $8.5 million on a multi-year deal. Maybe if you did it year by year, that'd be okay. 1 year, 8.5. I mean, like, I'm even not a big fan of that. But to guarantee multiple years to a guy with multiple hip surgeries and getting older, and you've already seen their aggression, I just don't think it would have been too smart. So that's my thoughts. I'm hoping he has, he's going to have his suitors. I hope he goes to a great spot. I would love to see him back in Boston. I just don't foresee that happening, especially with if that's the contracts he's going to get. But I think you can love Brad Marchand and love what he did in the postseason and be happy for him, but also be rational and be like, I do think paying him an exorbitant amount of money at this point in his career with the physical toll his body's taken isn't necessarily I don't think is necessarily smart. But let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Heavily edited content will be up in a few days, and throughout the postseason, throughout the off season, still going to be releasing a lot of videos. I've been walking about, again, 10 miles each day while I'm on the boat. Like, we're stopped in with fog and Juneteenth. Like, so we have no jobs pretty much because longshoremen, quote unquote, the dock workers would make, I think, triple time. So no ships are going in. But trying to stay up on this physical fitness. If you guys enjoy me just walking and talking about hockey, I can do that. And maybe when I'm home, do some live streams where I'm like this. So we kind of go from there. But alrighty. Let me know your thoughts. See you in the next one.